Consultation and the work I do, there's a strong research base behind it. What I was interested in is, can we overlay this technology and still get the same outcomes? And I think we're starting to see that we can do these things. And that's, for me as a researcher and as a practitioner, it's super exciting.
We've actually done research exploring the effectiveness of using teleconsultation in schools compared to being there in person. And we've actually seen that there's little difference. So what's really cool is that we can provide these services with the same fidelity and integrity that we would generally.
What we're doing in St. George is trying to help teachers with their students, particularly those with disabilities. Originally, you would have to go down 4 hours to St. George, and it would be kind of a time-consuming, expensive process to provide consultation to teachers and parents. And so with the advent of video conferencing and then of course telepresence robots, we're able to actually get down there and provide this as though we're actually there.
He is in Salt Lake and we're in St. George. It's about 360 miles. So it's not like he can come down here every week and help us. So it's amazing to be able to have him meet with us on a weekly basis with the use of the double.
Before we had the double, we had one person who would have to drive to different schools and observe students. A lot of the interaction was over email. We weren't able to get in touch all the time when we needed to. The double has made it so that we can interact with Dr. Fisher. It's awesome to have the kind of expert advice that we have from him. And we're able to make the changes with our students so much quicker because we've got immediate feedback from him.
The kids, especially some of them, don't sit still very long, so they're up and they're moving and he can turn to where the kid is at.
Originally, when I started doing this research, I used it for my dissertation, and we were trying to look at just video conferencing across iPads or tablet computers. And the problem we ran into was that students move around. And so you have this static hardware that kind of reduces the validity of what we're trying to do. And for us, we wanted to be fully autonomous, as though we're actually there. And so finding telepresence robots really allowed us to do that.
With the double, he's able to come in, he moves around and goes wherever he feels like he needs to be and see the things that we're really wondering about.
It's essential that you are there with the teacher in order to really get and understand the big picture of it. So the double is critical.
To be able to have that screen there, have that person there, they get to know the kids, they get to know how we interact with them, and they get to know the kids' behaviors. It feels like they're more involved.
So when we use Skype or FaceTime, our biggest concern can really be with privacy protection laws. When we use some of these third-party technologies, they're actually FERPA and HIPAA compliant. So we can actually provide that anonymity and that protection and privacy to the students and their families.
One of the things that I like the most is just that we are able to look at the data that he has with him. We don't have to pull it up on a separate computer. He just projects it onto his screen and has the double screen there that we can look at his data while we're looking at him at the same time.
The research shows that when you can show teachers graphs of their implementation of interventions and student outcomes, they're more likely to actually use that information to improve. So that's a feature I use every time I'm on it. And I think that's the thing for me that I get really excited about when I use the double, is that they have so many interactive features. Because for me, what I'm trying to do is simulate me actually being there. So little things like being able to meet eye level when I'm talking is really important. I mean, everything we do socially, it's all in the eyes. So if I can approximate that a little bit better, we're going to have a more successful interaction.
He can make the robot taller or shorter so that we can sit down and talk. It really kind of feels more like a genuine conversation with a person.